it's your boy Ancient Albatross here again with the Cypher Unlimited crew. We have our usual suspects of AD or Alpha Dean. We have Spigs18 or Anthony. And just as a quick reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us here on Twitch or subscribe to us over on YouTube. It's a huge help for our channel. It helps us grow, and we've been reaching great numbers, and we want to thank you for all your support thus far. But Dean, what are we doing here tonight?
Oh man, we're just gonna have a recap and I guess a little conversation about what the finale of the Magnus Archives is looking like. There's also gonna be another crowdfunding for Invisible Sun. So we're just talking about what's coming up and the ending of this great campaign. And with that being said, I'm gonna throw the ball over to Ant.
Yep, and for those that missed our stream last night, we had Johnny and Alex from the Rusty Quill and the creators of the Magnus Archive podcast. It was a great chat. If you missed that, please go check it out. Either check it out on YouTube. You could go check it out on YouTube, or you could check it out here on Twitch. But either way, it was a great chat. Those guys are awesome. They're so humble and so fun to talk to. It was a pleasure getting to interview them. But let's talk about the Magnus Archives, guys. There's only 22 hours left. So I'll do my spiel again and go over the numbers. But right now they're at 1,800,000. They got like Johnny got his 10,000 backers. They got 10,419 backers. And I think we're like $8,000 away from the next stretch goal. We'll get into the stretch goals in a minute. But do you guys remember what was the number?
I said 3.3. I remember I said 3.3 for this one because I just figured it with the massive following that more people would have come out.
Because we do owe a gift card, whoever's closest. So I guess I got to go back and watch that video to find out.
And I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. I think everyone overguessed. And if we're doing Price is Right rules, that means everyone loses. Everybody guessed over. I don't think and it's quite humbling to see, actually. We thought it was going to do, and don't get me wrong, 1.8 mil is still really high. This is still amazing to see. But we all thought it was going to be like in the 3 mils, right? Like, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, I really did. But just with the popularity of it. But, then again, I can also see kind of where some people may have faltered with how you could turn this into a RPG. Maybe they didn't listen far enough in and to see how things unfolded or whatever, but who knows?
Just so we're not assholes, we're not going to do Prices Right rules because we do want a member of the server to win something. So we'll do whoever's closest. So I'll go back and watch the video and see who's closest. Yeah, I don't want everybody feeling gypped. So we'll find out whoever's closest, even with going over, and someone will still get a gift card.
Yeah, that works.
All right, guys. So Magnus Archives, 22 days. 22. I wish it was 22 days left at 1.8 million, but 22 hours left. So what are your thoughts on this?
Like Al said, it's still a massive showing. I mean, it's awesome. The fact of the matter that people are really embracing what's going on, and then of course to be excited to hear what Johnny and Alex said last night about it and how they've been working with Monty and the process. It just makes me smile. I can't wait to get my hands on it either.
You know what's funny? Remember when Johnny was talking about, I can't talk about the audio assets?
Mm-hmm.
The video, as we were interviewing them, they actually hit that.
Oh, yeah.
So technically, he could have talked about the audio assets because they literally hit that stretch goal while we were talking.
Yep. It's hilarious.
It's like Alex said, though, they might be under some written thingy to not speak too specifically about it. They did mention, I believe, though, that the audio assets will be new content, so that's exciting.
Yes.
And With
Oh,
it, with them sitting at 38,000 away from the prop set, that's like I told you, I'm already getting my tape recorder and some cassettes. This is gonna be great.
they already mentioned and they also like briefly touched on the prop set. And if there's anything like Invisible Sun's prop set or the Tolless prop set, you know it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, I love them, so that's gonna be pretty cool.
All right, so out of all the stretch goals, guys, you know, between your two and chat, is there anything that jumps out at you and you know you're kind of excited to see or want?
Well, these last two for me. I mean, in the file folders, like I said, I like props. So I would love being able to come to every game with a file folder and hand it over to them. Statement such and such. Be kind of cool.
You know what's oh, got it now.
No, I was just gonna say that I already said I was very excited for the prop set when Monty said it when he shouldn't have said it, leaking a bit. Before it was even announced on the page, he told us straight up like, "I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say." So yeah, prop set, super excited for that, and also the audio assets just for the new content. As a big TMA fan, if we're getting new content, oh boy. Like I wonder what they're gonna sneak in there for us. It's very exciting to think about.
I don't know. For me, I think I'm going a different route. Me personally, the guest for Mr. Spider book just seems freaking hella cool for me, and the Lightner book plates to put on other books.
If you want to get technical here, though, those weren't stretch goals. Those are just regular add-ons. If I recall correctly, those were on for the initial launch, and then we got the XP deck first as the first stretch goal. I could be wrong, but yeah. But there, if we're including those, then Guess for Mr. Spider, hands down. Like that shit is so cool. Like I'm super excited to like hold that book.
If you back it at the everything level, you get all that though, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is an add-on. But either way, both those things, I don't know. The Guess for Mr. Spider book, like maybe because I just got to that episode like a couple of days ago, so it's still fresh in my mind. But it's freaking hella cool. Like I was trying to like joke with the twins today. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring me food, feed me.
Oh, I was thinking of actually getting a second copy of the book as an add-on, just to donate one to the library, and see what they do with it.
You could donate it and put the Lightner book.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I would do.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, there'll still be time to add on after the campaign ends, so I still got time to think about it. But yeah, I'm very tempted.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And the deluxe edition of the Magnus Archive looks freaking hella cool too. I digging this cover more than the original cover.
I think, well, if you know anything what that cover is, you're gonna dig it even more.
That's the table, right? I don't want to give any spoilers. That's the table.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I could be wrong, but yeah, yeah, it's very nice. Wait, where is the deluxe book?
Right here right here where they got all the pictures of everything.
Oh, you could tell I'm starting to get into the show because I'm actually getting all the references now.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There is all the stuff here. Yeah, it's oh my god, I'm just so excited to have my hands on all this stuff. Like, oh my god. And also, let's talk about this dice tray. This like, I forgot about this, honestly. The little with the book safe. Oh my god, that is gonna look gorgeous on my shelf.
Oh,
well, it's gonna be cool. Would you say it?
Tray. Oh, I didn't really. The dice tray. I just thought it was like a ornate.
It's a sleeve and a dice tray all in one. It's a sleeve for your dice. And it's got, like I said, I've got a set of dice like that up here from the Call of Cthulhu line that they have with all the different dice. and they're like that, like little books. And I think that one looks like it's gonna be bigger, so it's gonna be cool to have this big black book sitting up there with all the other boxes. It's gonna be.
Quite.
You know, I love this. Might be a little like controversial, right? I love the Cypher System dice sets, but the dice holder in me, I always get a little disappointed that it's only 4 dice.
4 dice, I know.
Yeah, I'm of the same boat, honestly. I like
Don't feel
having the
bad.
full set.
I'm a dice goblin, just like you guys. I mean, the only way it feels okay right now is because I like have the set of the. They gave us a set of old gods at the convention, and I just kind of like have the 4 sitting here, and it's like pretty cool. So
No,
They're
you
so
know,
pretty.
you know what's funny? In the Tolus Kickstarter, I backed the D&D dice because I wanted the full set.
That's
and
hilarious.
they gave us a set of those, and they gave us this cool die for what's the name Path of the Planebreaker. Pretty cool too.
Yeah. Sometimes, like I mostly play online. You know what's the fact? Sad thing, Derek and Cal, is I only play online as well. So I just get the dice and look at them, and maybe occasionally roll it on my own. But I rarely get to use physical dice. I am going to be using that GameOCon, but yeah, I'm almost at 99% online.
I mean, we all use a lot of online, but you know me, I love my dice.
Yeah,
Dice goblin #1 over here.
I've actually been giving away dice to people who I find that are in the hobby and like at work. Like I have a coworker who's into it. I gave him 2 sets just because. I was like, yo, I'm having so many here, and then he told me like I gave him one day, and then the next day he told me like, hey, my girlfriend really liked that set you gave me, and I was like, oh really? And then the next day, without telling him, I just brought another set. I was like, here, this is for your girlfriend.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I do. I everybody who I get to, if I get anybody who comes and plays, and they come back a second time, I always give them a set of dice. I give them their first set of dice, you know, because they're back. They want more. So that's my thing. You know, if you want to play, get you your first set.
You guys remember? I don't know if Sean still does this, but you remember back in like the Gen Con a couple years ago, and I think he was doing it at GameHoCon. He had this like big bag of dice, and anyone that said hi to him, he would give him like a D20 or something. Sean K. Reynolds, Monica
Sean
Gay.
always has something. Sean just does things. Like there was one time online he was doing. Sean K. Reynolds is giving away stuff, and I have a copy. I have a signed copy of the original Game Master's Guide for the first Pathfinder signed when he was still working at Paizo. I mean, just stuff like that. He just randomly, bing.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I remember he gave me a dice like Gen Con like 3 or 4 years ago. He was like,
Like Sean.
yeah, have a D20. Thank you. So let's go back to Magnus Archives. What else is exciting you about this, guys? What are you looking forward to the most?
Like I said, the way it's set up with the props, you know, like I said, I'm gonna have a tape recorder on the table. The fact that you got the Magnus Institute folders, now they're gonna do a whole prop kit. It's just gonna be really cool. For me, it gives me that, like I said, when we talked to Monty, the old Night Stalker, Carl Kolchak, and I'm really thinking of doing something like that type of thing. It might be a media investigative, paper, and they treat them like like the National Enquirer or something. But these guys are all. These are the guys who handle the case files. I mean, just the ideas alone that are coming is awesome for me.
So, like, I'm a little confused. As a GM, like, how are you gonna approach like the tape recorder, the files? I'm assuming, right, that's something that you do pre-game or the very beginning of the game. You play the tape, unless you're doing one-on-one sessions, because you can't really totally emulate the podcast, right? Because I mean that's personally, I don't think that's very exciting gameplay.
Well, what my thought process, like I said, from it, just stuff Monty said, the idea that I had, like I said, we're going to be a media investigation type place. They might be like the National Enquirer or whatever. Maybe they've got a podcast that they do, whatever. But the whole idea is that they'll get these tapes, they'll be getting files. and I'm gonna be like, these are files that have been turning up from, all over, and they investigate them because that's what it is. It's supposed to be a group of investigators, so you get to hear the tape, and then I let them go investigate the aftermath if they can find clues or whatever, that kind of deal.
Usually, the show, unless I'm mistaken, right? It's the archivist that's making the tape. So the players that play in the archivist, they will be the ones retelling on the tape. So it doesn't make sense to give them a tape of audio files if they play in the archivist.
Hey,
Well,
so let me chime in here because someone on the Discord, and I'm so upset that I did not think to remember their name. But I guess like I'm not gonna look now because it's gonna take time. But someone in the Magnus Archives channel on the Cypher Unlimited Discord said what they're gonna do, or maybe it was on Reddit. I don't know. Either way, what they're gonna do with statements, right? Because you craft a group statement, right? And
Yeah.
someone plays the victim, right? The statement teller, essentially. So you go through that process of creating the statement, right? And once it's all created, they are either going to write down something or have the victim improv the statement, right? Like the actual factual statement, and tape record it, and that'll be the recording that starts the game. Like, and that'll just be like a prop for later for another game with another set of people or something, or just for your own personal collection to have. But yeah, that's a cool way I heard of someone trying to incorporate the tape recorder into all this.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, because I was trying to think of like I just in my head like how because I would like I definitely agree with Dean that having the tape and make it tape recorded. I was just saying how do I make it so that it's interactive with the entire group? So if you having one player create the day session, the recording, it's more in line with the Magnus archives, because like they will be the ones creating the tapes.
Yeah, and then along with that,
they got the thing where Monty was saying about how you make the statement with the group anyway.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. So it's still all a work in progress to figure out what ways we're going to do it, but it's a lot of stuff out there.
Oh yeah, Ken Hubwell, he did another good suggestion. He said you could be a cleanup crew that discovers a bunch of lost tapes. That's another one as well. Yeah, that works as well. Yeah, I was just like, we don't know exactly what's going to be in there, like mechanically. I was just brainstorming ideas, like how would you get, a campaign started or a one shot, because with a one shot, it's real easy to just play a tape at the beginning of the game and like, hey, this was the archivist statement, and then your guys are going to go investigate this statement. So you're not.
That's what I'm saying. Think about it. Even if you have something like the archivist that, maybe had the main archivist disappear, and now these guys are going over his work. That could be the tapes that you play at the beginning of the session.
Yeah. Derek mentioned that he said, I'm weird, similar to X-Files. I prefer singular stories over the arc of a meta plot. I think that this is going to work well for both, to be honest. I think this is like perfect for horror one shots. Like, like guys already, like people, your gaming group already has existing characters, and you have an idea for some weird, freaky shit that you want to make a game about. It's like, okay, yeah, let's play in Magnus Archives because we can make it work.
Right. I mean, you can even do it if it was a fantasy because, like you said, you don't know how far back the Magnus Archives go. I mean, we know at least in this world it was 200 years, but somewhere else it could be even longer. It's just so it is cool that you could do that, like when they're, telling the World War II one and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could definitely see people running like a West Marches style game with this too. The Institute or whatever would be like the home base or whatever. And, as people are available, you create sessions and whatnot, and the Institute's, library grows, so to speak, as the West March progresses. And instead of progressing a map or something, you're just advancing the Institute's library or something. Like there's a lot of ways you could do this as a one-shot campaign or both. Like it's I'm very excited to see this book.
Now what we should do, we should find us a spot online or set ourselves up a server, and then we could just have people record their statements, different archivists from all over.
Crazy. that up. It's called Cypher Unlimited. The largest fan.
I'm saying a channel that we would do that where we would keep everything. You know what I meant?
Johnny's just saying the same thing. Great minds think alike. Two different people, Techman and Manalu, both said the same thing, that they should have people record each other's statements and then post them on the server. That would be awesome. You know what would be cool if we get a bunch of people to record different statements, right? And you run a game, but you can't run a game based on your recording. So you have to
use somebody else's.
You have to use someone else's, and we'll have a series of one-shots. Like, we'll get 10 or 20 people to all post recordings, and everyone will run a game based on someone else's recording.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I'll do some. Because I got a few voices I can do as well.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That would be great. So,
the other question I asked you, Magnus Archives, since we talk about running, do you guys plan to do your own institute?
No.
Thinking about it.
So, damn, I don't want to speak too much about spoilers. But in my universe, the Magnus Institute's actually the BBEG. So
okay.
they're the enemy. So I mean, I guess there's the other institutes around the world, but I don't plan on creating my. It's more of like I don't want to talk about it too much, but yeah, there's not. I'm not creating my own, but yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm considering it, but I do like the word Magnus, but then of course the other word that normally you see with Magnus is Opus, so I'm thinking maybe like, the Opus Enclave or something. I don't know.
I'm an East Coast guy, so I'd love to do a New York City version.
That's just the Men in Black.
Well, no, I'm saying mine will probably still be in the United States. It would just be called the Opus, That's what I was saying. But yeah, I'm with you. Definitely. It's great.
And one last thing I want to mention is, have you guys seen this fucking playmat?
Yeah.
I love those massive playmats. The big playmats. If you could order any one playmat, always get the oversized ones. They're so beautiful.
And they really work. Like, especially, I take mine to the gaming store and put them on the tables, and everybody always comes and stops and want to talk about, oh, what is that?
Yeah, I'm really digging the playmat. I understand the tape recorder image. You remember like 4 weeks ago? I still don't think it's the best choice, but I understand the image more now that I'm like 100 episodes in.
It appeals to fans. That's it. Like, again, it's cool if you're coming to a thing, it's going to be an investigative thing. Like, hey, yeah, this looks very detective-y. But if you know the show, yeah, it's you love that. You love
Even
that image. Like, yeah.
You guys have anything else you want to bring up about Magnus Archives?
Just that is hella cool, and we want, I want that other 38,000 to get there.
Yeah, we would definitely want that prop set, but what I'm excited with Magnus Archives is seeing what people produce as far as new fears or anything like that. It's gonna be real easy to play with the fears that already include or whatever the things them. Again, I don't want to say too many spoilers. But yeah, there's already a ton of canon ones, but there's a lot of room for people to make their own, and I'm pretty excited to see where people go with it. I already posted about mine a little bit on the Discord channel. It was a while ago. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what other people have in mind.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Monty and the team adds to the equation as well. Like, because they're not just gonna replicate. I mean, even Johnny and Alex said it. Like, they don't expect them to just replicate what's on the show. They expect them to create a lot of new things. And I'm pretty sure, you got Sean, Monty, and Bruce. All three of them have a great, eye for weird and horror. So I'm pretty sure I'm expecting some really creepy stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What it's funny. Like, when we were talking to Monty, and I was like, why don't you just have like each of them write a statement? Could you imagine like if each of them just like worked on something like that? Just that was a whole section of the book. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we spoke about this in our first video, but I dig the 2-color art style. So I'm curious to see how that's going to be in in the full book, how it's going to wind up fully looking. For the pages that they have, the sample pages, the layout looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, well, you and I agree with the color splashes. I love color splashes. I always thought they were effective when to especially for what the nature of the Magnus Archives. When you listen to it, sometimes you get that. I get that, even though I know I'm just listening to a story being told. Even when they say colors, I still get that old black and white feeling. It's like remember watching the old black and white movies. It just evokes that kind of thing. And I just remember when movies first started getting colorized and they were washed out colors and stuff. So I could see all that working in the imagination, and then looking at the book, but it would evoke that kind of feeling.
Yeah, everyone is chatting. Ken Hub is bringing up the fact about mixing Old Gods with the Magnus Archives. I think that's tailor made. That's going to be awesome. Once you get these two books and Stay Alive, don't tell me you can't run horror in Cypher System.
You can run horror. My
I want
God,
to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You have those two books and Stay Alive. You could cover pretty much every genre of horror.
there is now a bevy of horror resources to, because again, that does come up a lot. People don't think Cypher handles horror well, but now we have 3 very good horror. I mean, on the way, third one, but yeah, yeah, that should definitely help with those people. Hopefully.
we hope.
I mean, it's gonna handle horror, but it's sort of like what Alex was saying. It's gonna handle it differently. Like it's impossible to do that Cthulhu. You can't. There's nothing you could do. It's absolutely hopeless. Just wait to die type of game that you get in a Cthulhu style game in Cypher System, because Cypher System is more cinematic, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't kill characters. You just can't. Like, characters have a little too much agency in Cypher to give you that full Cthulhu. Like, you're gonna die. It's gonna end badly no matter what situation. Yeah. And if that's what I was never a fan of that style of game anyway, so it doesn't bother me much.
Say that again.
I was never a fan of that style of game anyway, where the GM.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's probably why I didn't play a lot of Call of Cthulhu. Most of the time, even like even Gamma World. Gamma World was like that. You was just like prepare to die. Because Gamma World was so deadly, and it was just kind of more fun than playing Cthulhu, because you went out to blaze of glory. But I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, cause I had fun playing Cthulhu, but you always had this like in the back of your mind playing Cthulhu, or at least in the games I played, was like, it's like, when's the shoe gonna drop? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Well,
agreed. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, the difference to me between Call of Cthulhu is, like you said, you're waiting for the shoe to drop, and when it drops, 99% of the time it's going to be extremely anticlimactic. Whereas, like you said, with Gamma World, at least I get to go out in a blaze of glory and some action oriented something. But
you could definitely run multiple horror in Cypher, especially now, because the Magnus Archives is going to add a whole different element. I'm really excited for this because I feel like it adds not only horror elements, it gives you the investigative elements that you really didn't have in Cypher, the noir elements that we really didn't have in Cypher. So it kind of touches a lot of genres that Cypher System hadn't had in its toolbox. So yeah. I'm excited because this is a game that's going to add a bunch of new elements to the Cypher system.
Well,
And
yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. And now that you said that and talking about it, adding certain elements, and you said something about noir, I'm really thinking that we're going to get a taste of that noir flavor too, and it's only magic.
yeah.
So it's gonna be I think it's like a win-win all the way around when you think about it.
Chat asks, what aspect are you least excited about, and what are you going to do about it? That's a great question. When you guys want to tackle that?
It's a hard one to answer without knowing the full scope of everything that's going to be in the book. Because once we have the book in our hands, or at least know the full table of contents or whatever, we can look through it and be like, oh, this isn't what I was expecting, or this, whatever. We can form a full opinion on the whole thing. Without knowing everything, it's hard to say something that I'm least excited about, just to be frank.
And see, with Cypher, if for me the answer is like what like kind of what Al said about not really knowing, but what I would do about it is what I always do. Cypher's modular, plug and play. Whatever doesn't work, you drop it on the floor and leave it on the floor. And if there's something that you could possibly see through your purview in Cypher that would mitigate to do what they wanted to do it the way you want it to work, you plug it in. Cypher is so plug and play. It's just easy. That part. There's never an issue about if there's something I don't care for. Like we did that with the crafting rules from Discovery and Destiny. Just
I 100% agree with you, Dean, but I'll give a straight answer. Like, I'm least excited for the character types. They don't seem to be grabbing me like I don't know. Like when I read them, I was like, yeah, it makes sense for Magnus Archives, but it isn't necessarily like I could still create it with the basic character types of Cypher. So it's not like it's anything that's gonna make me be like, oh, I can't play this game. But like with everything else, I gotta play out the character types to let you know if I like them. But if I'm giving my honest opinion, that was the one thing that I read that I was like, okay, it's
like you can say that about any of them. I mean, none of the character types in any of the books like jump out at you, other than the fact that they're built for the settings. That's the way I see it. So I don't have.
I agree. I 100% agree with Dean on that. I feel like with all of them, it's nice to see it flavored that way, but I feel like almost 9 times out of 10, you're just making a book from the CSR anyway. But again, I could be wrong. Sometimes like if you're trying to really showcase a setting, you'll like make it only with that book. But I think again, 9 times out of 10, you're either making a character you really want to see, which is regardless of the types in the book, or people are coming to you with their own ideas for a character, which again, 9 times out of 10, they're pulling from the CSR and not the setting book. Yeah, I mean, but it's still a valid thing. Like, that's probably the most underwhelming part of most of the setting books, because again, most of the time, people just want to do their own thing.
Chat sort of agreed with me on this, like, and exactly what Manilu said. The culprit is the one that I think was the culprit for me as well. It doesn't feel like Magnus Archives to me.
It is.
Maybe, you see, I would disagree. I kind of in the same camp when we talked to Monty about it, and what he was saying about how it would make sense. No, we never saw one within the parameters of the Magnus Archives podcast, but to see that they would have like a resource like that,
just for I mean, it gets I don't know the technical definition of an occultist, but I would say, having finished the show, there's definitely people who try to wield weird magic, if that makes sense. That's how I picture an occultist, right? Someone who's trying to utilize something they don't fully comprehend, but is powerful, right? I mean, again, I could be wrong. but they're trying to channel the weird magic. That again, as someone who's finished it, there's definitely a couple characters that fall under this description.
I'm on like episode 104, so like I'm way away from finishing it. So, but from what I've seen, there hasn't been anything like that. So
just wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's things that in that respect, it's just it's like well, go ahead.
No, I mean the point I was gonna make is that they were asking for specific answers, so I gave it like what. Like I'm not a fan of everything's great. Like when someone they asked for a specific answer, so I gave them the character types is what I thought. It's not a hindrance that's gonna stop me from wanting to play it, but that's my honest answer.
Well, yeah, I mean I agree with you. That's what I'm saying though. But like what Al said, I mean you'll see where things fit in, and like I said, with character types. If it was something that I didn't like, I mean, there's been times that I just had to drop the edit off. Or, if you look at, Discovery and Destiny, and then they kind of made the glint and the delve kind of obsolete because they recreated them in the Arcus in this one. But you could, like I said, it was just so many ways to use everything. I just see, plugging stuff in where it goes. That's all.
But like I said, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know that they had to do it because you need to a way to, especially for someone that's just purchasing this book, and a standalone book. They needed a way to give specific character types specific abilities. But that was just the one thing, like it's inevitable. You need to do it.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm super excited for this anyway. And yeah, if there's anything else we want to go on this, back it. If you haven't backed it yet, please go and do. And this question came up in chat. You can back it at a lower level, and after the back, if you don't have the money, and after the backer kit comes out, you want to increase your pledge level, you can do that. We were talking about that on Discord today, and I'm pretty sure I've done it before on backer kit. Like you back at one level, and then once it fulfills and it's time to pay, you could pay at a higher level if you all of a sudden have cash.
You normally have a nice amount of time to do that before they close backer kit. Most of the time it's like you got at least 4 or 5 extra weeks, to get your money together and pay that upgrade.
Yeah, so even if you can't, if you're thinking, hey man, I don't know if I'm gonna have this money or not, you can back it for $1 or something just to hold it in place, and then if you do get some money, you could turn around and change your pledge. Derek said you can only change your pledge up though. Yes, that's why I suggested that you back at the lower level if you're unsure. And then once you'll go up and change your pledge to a higher level. Like I've done that several times with a couple of backer kit projects and Kickstarter projects. Like I knew that I wanted to back it in some capacity. I just didn't know how much money I was willing to spend.
Exactly.
Techman asks, was the discussion already on if characters made are similar to first responder types? That's a good question. I gotta really look through both books, but I do think that there is some similarity. But first responder types have more like technical skills, like like mechanics,
right?
Firefighting.
They're first responders are just that. They're first responders. They're mechanics. They're engineers. They're people who have what do you call it? First aid training, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, they haven't, to answer your question fully, we haven't fully seen all the types fleshed out for Magnus Archive, so I don't know how similar, but I think they are closer to first responders than they say they are to the CSR.
Right.
Like, I think the best comparison might be Oh Gods. I think the Magnus Archive's character types might be closer to Oh God's character type.
Yeah. I was like, that's about right. I agree.
Yeah, but either way, I think First Responders is a great collab book for Magnus as well. Like I could definitely see a group of firefighters. You start the game off as a group of firefighters fighting a fire in a library, and then they find the Lightner book.
Yeah, you know,
Oh
That'd
boy.
be
all sorts of ways to pull people in. That's cool.
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
That is a hella cool idea.
I can see that working.
If I could mix First Responders with Claim the Sky, you could mix it with everything. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I think First Responder fits with everything. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's first. I mean, anything that you're gonna do modern, you know, you could just use for a group of first responders. You know, it was an earthquake. They go down underground and find a portal. Oop, there we are. It's only magic because magic has been released back into the world. You know, just.
I mean, that's the beauty of the Cypher system, right? I think all these books are interchangeable.
Yes. We should talk about that in depth.
I think we have in multiple videos.
But never all at once.
Actually, we did a video like a month ago where we took 3 books and fused them into one sentence. Wasn't that the concept itself?
Yeah, it was. I like talking about it. Okay, fine.
I'm not saying we can't talk about it because all conversations leads to that anyway. Because
what we need to do, what we should do, I think we should have fun and really do the mini settings in the back of the white books.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely got to do it sometime up. So, guys, go back Magnus Archives, and we're gonna talk about the second biggest announcement MCG made in the past week, and that's Invisible Sun is coming back, y'all. How excited are y'all guys for Invisible Sun? And what are you expecting from the Invisible Sun? You know, it's coming to Backerkit. They haven't announced the date yet. They have just put up a quick like a little blurb to follow it on Backerkit. But what are you expecting from this Backerkit project? Oh no, Al, you gotta get the lights.
I was signing up for Cypher Unlimited's email to show that if we're gonna do it, everyone should sign up to be notified of this.
Well, look, it's hard to even say what I'm excited about because literally you don't even know what they have in store for you. I mean, when they say when you say a premium product and you look at Invisible Sun, you know, for what it is, first of all, what came in just the cube alone. But then when they, you know, did the last Kickstarter to do another printing of it and everything, they funded like 4 books, you know, and the the Night Side book and the you know the Enochian ecology. I mean, these books, it's like they just take the game to a whole nother level. So I can only imagine what they're going to give us as far as, you know, so, you know, and this means, again, looking at Invisible Sun, that's them kind of working in another one of their books that they don't really do except for with Numenera. So it's kind of cool there too.
I will say that I know everyone in that chat is all bringing up the price tag, right? And I entirely agree that it's a very expensive product, right? But it's like when you first sit in not that I own a Mercedes Benz though, but when you first sit in a luxury car, like you sit in that car and you be like, okay, I get it. You know, like I get why someone's spending $150,000 for this car. Like all the doohickeys that come in. And that's how I view Invisible Sun. Invisible Sun is a game it's the epitome of a luxury RPG, right? Even more so, if you have a core gaming group of 3 or 4 people that you game with all the time, it might not be out of the question to go, hey, let's team up and chip in for this. Because the stuff you get and the quality of the cube is ridiculous. And I'm not someone that plays a lot of Invisible Sun, but I'm just saying that when you see it in front of you and you touch everything and you actually look at the product itself, for lack of a better term, it's on some next level shit. You know what I mean? if I had to, say it in any other way. And the price tag is freaking rough, but I'm just keeping it real. Like when you see, because I was always like, yo, $2.99, that's a lot, yo, like that better come with lunch every, for a whole month. But when you actually see the cube,
and I was the same way. I was, I remember when Monty announced it, and just things weren't right, so I could not back the first printing, and I was, and then I started seeing it out in the wild, and people were, there's like, damn, this is so cool. I was like, okay, if they ever do another one, I'm definitely getting one. And that's kind of what happened, and it's even cooler once you get your own, because you open it up and you look, and it's like, what the hell do I have, So, now I want another one so I can play with it and not just play with the PDFs.
And at the end of the day, it's a hell of a fun game as well. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I use the PDFs a lot and play with the PDFs because I just don't want to take the stuff out of, I have an extra Sooth deck and stuff like that because I just don't want to take my stuff out of the cube. I want it to stay nice.
And also, too, since the print one is so far apart, and I know Mike just jumped in the chat. Mike could attest because we were looking up when the cube was out of print. If you want to sell your cube, you get $500-$600 for that thing easy. Because me and Mike were looking to get him a cube, and they were going for like $600-$700 on eBay.
Yeah.
So if you want to purchase it just to resell, you can do that as well.
Yeah.
I will say this though, just as a funny crossover thing. Because I also do not own a cube. I missed the first printing, but I'm scared to own a cube. It has Lightner vibes. It has mad Lightner vibes, bro. There's secrets in it. You have to tear the box open to find one of the secrets. Like, bro, like that. If that's not a Lightner game, what is?
Yo, that's why I never went to the Discord channel on the
It's
secrets.
bonkers, bro. The secrets are bonkers.
And they was like, yo, I ripped up the corner of the page and I was looking for, and I'm like, yo, I'm not spending $300 to rip anything up.
Right. That's the whole point. I'm with you.
But people were going ham looking for those secrets. Like I mentioned yesterday, the community came together and people were out there tearing their boxes open, literally. Like, it was wild.
Yeah, Mario said, I'm probably going to own it. He also said, I suggest people ask the group to chip in. Yeah, in a perfect world, we could get people to chip in, and I suggested that earlier. Yeah, for a core group, like if Dean came to me, or Al came to me and said, hey, let's chip in for the cube, I'll probably do it. But it's sad that the family gaming groups, maybe I don't have access to it, but I don't see it as much as I did 10, 15 years ago. And that's sad to say because,
you're absolutely right though. And I mean, even at the store, I get a lot of people come in, but it's never, I hardly ever see like you said, the family groups come in anymore. It's normally, a couple of guys, I heard about this, or I watched this show, this podcast, and they said this or whatever. And those are the people coming in to try to figure out learn role-playing games and stuff. No longer the, 5 or 6 guys or the 4 to 5 guys that are like a core group of buddies who hang out and play. Yeah, you don't see it.
Yeah, what you call it? Maybe it's because I'm older, but like when I was younger, I had a core group of 7, 8 people that we gamed with hard body. Like that was your group. And then when I got older and met Al, we had a core group that used to game once a week. Remember that, Al? Like when I first met Al, and it's sad. I missed that. having the 7 or 8 friends that you could count
Right.
on
Yeah.
one game going.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I said. I miss it. I mean, even in my group, it was what, six? It was more than, damn. It was actually 12 of us, but we just played at different groups, and now I think maybe 4 of us are left in the same area.
If you get 5 people to invest in Invisible Sun, they're forced to stay as your core group because they invested in the Invisible Sun cube. So that's the way you keep it up together. They'll be like, yo, I don't want to play this anymore, but I gave her $50. I'm gonna stick this out to the end.
And the way Invisible Sun is going, I mean, as much as you realize it's over 600 pages of material just in the 4 books in the in the cube itself. That's not counting any of the new books. That's not counting the night side. It's not talking about the stuff that talks about what's beyond the actuality. Oh man, it's so much.
Yeah, like you said in the very beginning of this, they're going to add additional content in order to get more people to back.
Right. And if you don't know about Invisible Sun, people, it's surrealistic magic. To me, it's what Harry Potter and the Magicians try to be. It's just so freaking cool.
I wonder what the initial original, like the minimum you could bid on this for the backer kit.
Normally, well, both of the other ones were the same price. It's like you got the cube for like 225 or something, or 200.
It's cheaper than
Yeah, it's cheaper than their street value. It was like 200. I think it was like $200. Maybe it's 199, and you get you got the cube for that amount, and then of course, um, whatever they add as add-ons as it grew. Which was a cool thing.
Gahab said, I think Monty said there'll be a pledge level where you can just offer your kidney. That's hilarious.
Well, listen, during the was it the second? I think it was their second one. They had a pledge level that was $10,000, and somebody actually did it. Which is crazy.
Magnus Archives. And Zeus Lee just said, does it have to be your own kidney?
No, it has to be one of Silas's kidneys, Zeus. If he has to take it out.
The flesh just entered the chat. Now it says, does it have to be a human kidney?
Oh man. So yeah,
$100 cheaper. That's even more enticing. If you get it for 200, because like I said, trust me when I tell you this, when this goes out of print, it's a good investment, even if you want to purchase it and resell it.
For that reason.
Because you're gonna be able to resell it for more than 200.
I would say let it go out of print, give it 6 months after it goes out of print, and throw it out there, and you will get some serious bids.
Because I know Mike was I had to tell Mike not to do it because Mike was contemplating buying it for 600.
Yeah, I definitely would want to get another one for for actual use.
I have a 1.5. I have a complete set, and then I have another one that my son, for some reason, thought it would be a smart idea to stand on top of it when some of the books weren't in there. So he crushed my cube. So I have all the books, but not the cube itself.
Oh damn. I didn't know that. That sucks.
And you want to hear something even funnier? Like I have game books in my living room and then game books in my bedroom, right? And I have both cubes by my bed on the very top of the bookshelf, right? So he took that, and since I rarely, they from a distance, they're just black boxes, right? So I didn't realize for like 2 months that there was only one cube on top of there. And I'm like, yo, and so then I was like, yo, where's the second cube? And it was in my closet. He like hid it under the clothes and all that.
Oh, he hid it from you.
That's hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah, and he probably like I still don't know when it actually happened because I just never, never like noticed it. So it could have happened 2 or 3 months ago and I would have never known.
That's hilarious.
Right. Oh look, Mike wants to buy it for $150.
Actually, I mean, I just need stuff to use. I mean, that really wouldn't be a bad investment.
Only the box.
Yeah, I still have the crushed cube as well. I didn't throw it away. I'm not done.
That's what I mean. You only giving him the crushed cube, not the books, not any of the props.
I want the
Just
interior.
the crushed box.
No, I don't want the crushed cube.
For what?
Oh, you're evil. You're evil.
It's like those fraudulent eBay things you see where they put the box and you assume everything's in there, but there's a tiny little disclaimer that says box only.
Right. Yeah. And I'll kill you.
not where we going on the tangent. Not for that. I have a friend that just my friend collects like vintage video games, right? And he had this Nintendo box delivered to the work, and he was so excited. And I was like, "Oh, you finally got the Nintendo!" No, he just ordered the box because he had the Nintendo ready. He didn't have the box.
That's funny.
It made me think about that. And he paid like $75, $80 just for the box.
Oh,
That's
yo,
crazy.
I bought a Nintendo in the box for like $40, like a couple of years ago, like before I left New York. I was very happy to see that at thrift store. I bought that shit so fast. It was the box, the game, all that shit in there. I was like, oh my god.
See, but that's how the Invisible Sun Cube is going to be. People are going to be like,
Basically, Anthony is absolutely right. That's exactly what it's going to be.
oh,
Facts.
Mike, me you might be able to do the white box trade if you have a complete white box. Mike is offering.
This guy making deals on air.
I was talking about I'll throw it as a keto as a deal.
No, that was Ken Hub's offer was 2 oxys, a $5 Canadian bill, and half a taquito. Yeah, that's a good deal.
I'm not going to lie. I don't have a complete white box. I was trying to get Dean to turn around so I could steal his.
But yo, we're getting on crazy tangent here. Sign up for the Invisible Sun Backerkit notifications if you haven't. Manilu had asked, or sorry, I butchered your name just now. Was there any difference in the 2 printing of the cubes? We talked about this a little bit earlier. I believe there was just additional stuff added, right? Just more books. And I'm assuming we'll see something similar for this printing. We could be wrong, we don't know everything. But I imagine we'll see because they always want to entice people to buy it, and new stuff always entices people. So I can't imagine we won't see a couple new books with this printing as well.
Was it the card set in the second printing, Dean?
Offered a lot of things like the cards, because I've got all the decks out separate. Extra Suits deck. They offered the character boxes where you could buy a box and it was basically all the stuff you would need for your character, depending on what path you decided to walk. What type of mage you were. What else did they have? Oh, they had the book sleeve. They did the book sleeve, for the books to fit in. So, what was it? Streets, the Shadowed Streets, or in the Book of M. So it was a lot of stuff. It was really, it was awesome.
Ken upset. Will the dice be gold plated? The way they've been doing their premium dice lately, I would not be surprised.
What if they're just made of hollow gold? Hey.
You gotta get RPG credit. Every dice set that's come out on every Backerkit, Kickstarter, or what have you, they've been topping themselves. Every one, like every dice set.
Because the Path of the Flame Breaker, I thought they couldn't do better than that. And then I got these old gods, and they look like they look like ore. it looks, man, these joints is freaking awesome.
Yeah, the Papa the Plane Breaker dice were freaking awesome. The Old Gods of Appalachia dice are freaking awesome. So they're gonna get better and better.
I'm still waiting for my silicone weird dice.
Oh man,
I cannot wait to see those guys.
That's gonna be great.
Oh, we should be getting that soon.
Yeah, well they already started pre-orders.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah, this has been a chat, even though we've gone off the rails. Go Magnus Archives. There's only a couple hours left. There's like 20 hours left. Please go check it out. And be on the lookout for Invisible Sun. Whether you're on the fence or not, of such a high purchase, you can't deny that it's a hella cool project. So, keep your eye out on that project. And who knows, maybe we could convince MCG to give us a cube and we could give it away. That would be freaking awesome. And
just so everybody knows, we're $31,003 away from that prop kit. So tell your friends, tell your families, get on there, back to Magnus Archives.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get the prop kit. Now, and also, I'm definitely going to go back and watch the video where everyone gave their suggestions. And
you're lucky. Everyone's lucky you're nice, right? Because I said it earlier. If Price is Right rules, everybody failed. Everybody overguessed. Literally everyone. Everybody failed this one. In my eyes, sorry, guy, I know I'm usually the nice, chill one, but when it comes to Price is Right and guessing prices, everybody failed this one. I am so sorry, but Anthony is very nice, so he will pick a winner who was closest, even if it was over.
Yeah. I might be closest. But if it's me, someone other than us three will get a gift card. But or I'll use my gift card to buy another cube. And like a picture of it. All right, if you like us and you like what we do, join the Cypher Unlimited Discord server for all things Monica Games. We have the largest fan run Discord server for everything MCG. There's games being run there. There's great conversations being had there daily. But if Discord's not for you, join our Facebook group. It's not as big as our Discord, but there's still great conversations being had. If you want, you could give us a subscription here on Twitch or follow us on Twitch. It'll be greatly appreciated. More importantly, go to our YouTube channel and like, share, subscribe there. We're really trying to build up both these platforms, and we love all the support you guys have given us, and we just need a little more. We want to build these platforms as much as we can. You want to support us financially anyway, give us a little donation on Ko-fi. It helps us out with little things like CypherCon and giveaways. Or go to our online store and pick up the cool Cypher Unlimited merch like this hat I got on. And last but not least, we love you guys.
Yeah, we do.
And yeah, this has been a great talk. And as Zeus Legion so eloquently puts it, statement ends. And from us at the CU, we will see you later.